Hello, this will be my informative speech, and it will be about holding big corporations accountable, and it's called Following the Money. This is my mother, she'll be my audience for today.
Hello.
Today, the purpose for my informative speech is just to inform pretty much you of why I believe we need to hold corporations, big corporations, accountable. Um, what would happen if we don't hold these corporations accountable? Because of 2017, our big tax plan that Republicans gave out, it pretty much did nothing for big corporations. This year alone, Amazon and Netflix, I think Netflix made over 358 million and paid nothing in taxes. And then Amazon did 11 billion in profits and they paid no taxes. And all those profits that they make, they either put it in the Caribbean, they put it somewhere in the islands, somewhere where no one can touch their money, and they pretty much just hoard it for themselves. And then what ends up happening to us is that either workers, we are the last ones they think about. So they start thinking about their shareholders, they start thinking about their own pockets. And what ends up happening with us, we either get laid off, we get longer hours and shorter pay, which is what something that's happening to me. I end up working 52 hours a week, and I make decent money, but it's not enough for an actual living wage. I shouldn't have to work so many hours to have a living wage. I should be able to just make the minimum 40 hours a week and be fine, maybe okay. But unfortunately, no, it doesn't. It's not what's been happening lately. And lately, they've been either cutting hours, giving longer hours, and shorter pay. And what ends up happening is just it ends up they try to accommodate us by giving us vacation days, flex days, which is personal days or sick days, to try to balance everything out. But it ends up just pretty much we're pretty much working ourselves to the bone, then rather just having it, just giving it, not giving it to us, but just pretty much just how it should be. In the 1950s and the 1960s, corporations did think about their workers. Workers had a big say in who gets to be in their board of directors. They get to say, if the company wants to actually, pay for any political campaigns, any political contributions. Nowadays, we pretty much don't have that. Corporations can pretty much get away with anything they please. Anything they want to do, they want to give money to a specific political campaign or a specific political congresswoman or congressman, they can. They don't have, there hasn't been any loopholes, there hasn't been any laws against them. But luckily, lately, we've been having senators, governors, and a few other Congress people that have been trying to stand up for big corporations, like Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, she's the one who actually put out a bill last year to hold big corporations accountable, which is pretty much giving that power back to the people, pretty much giving back that power back to the workers. And they get to say who will be their board of directors, who gets to have, if we get to put political contributions or not. And I believe all of this, the only reason why we got here to where we are right now is because I believe in the 1980s, if I'm not mistaken, it was technology started rising and it became a shift of power. So, since they started seeing more profits going out, they decided to just focus more on their shareholders, on people who actually started to invest in their corporations rather than the people that are actually working for them. And I feel like ever since that, it's been like a norm. It's been like a normal fact for us, where it's just like, okay, well, it's always been this way. Why would we want to change it? I don't think we should think that way, because for the 1950s until the 90s, until the late 1970s, it wasn't like that. Big corporations actually were taxed, which is why it will balance out for the middle class. Like, everybody had enough money to be in a livable wage. So I don't know why we can't bring that back to what we got right now. what I believe we can, or how we can fix this and get us back to how things were before the whole technology rising up and everything. I feel like we can just put the right type of people into power. We can only fix this federal. The only reason why we can only fix this federal is because they are the ones who gets to put the bills, the laws into place for big corporations. We are seeing some ordinary people just, going out and protesting and having a voice and saying, but I think it's more involved for the government. The government needs to actually step in and actually put laws into place to hold big corporations accountable. Without them, we can't have this fixed as soon as possible.